We're looking today at the equality, diversity, and inclusion cards, which we have laid out in front of us. The purpose of this video is just to give you a demonstration of how you might get started with using them and how you don't need to use the whole deck in the exercises you want to do. So for the purposes of today, for example, we're not going to use the digital manufacturing challenges or industrial digital technologies cards because they're not relevant to what we're going to do. So we can take those away and put them away for a different time. So now, similar to the guide, we're going to be looking at drawing one at random from each of the four themes. At the top, we've got the definitions. Second line, we've got the scenario. The third line is the what am I going to do, hopefully to improve EDI. And the fourth line is complications and practicalities. So if we start from drawing one at random from the definitions card at the top. So if you fan them out and take one at random. Okay, so there we have the inclusion card, and perhaps as part of this, you can therefore get people to discuss around your group what they understand by this, where they understand it, what different views of that are. So now moving on to build up the conversation, if we can pick one from the scenario card. So gone for the inclusion and exclusion cards. So one at random from that. So there we go, interpersonal. So this is interpersonal relations there. So building up the picture, we have inclusion card and the interpersonal card. So maybe the next part of the discussion is to see how those link together, how people understand these, and whether they sort of fit well together based on people's experience, or maybe some issues of how they don't. So all good sort of elements of the discussion can be had from that. So once that discussion's run its course, you can move on to the what am I going to do cards and pick one to build up discussion from there. So yeah, if you go and pick from the measures of success here. So there we have measures of success called level of ambition. So asking you how ambitious you're looking to be with this in relation to the two previous cards. So again, this builds up discussion. What does this card add to the two previous ones and add to the discussion as a whole? So that could be the next point of your discussion to build up your understanding of the contextual nature of EDI in your work and within your group. So once that discussion's moved on, hopefully you've had some interesting insights from that, can move on to the final section of the complications and practicalities cards and draw one of those to add to the picture. So there we have, again, drawn at random, the lack of understanding card. So how that might complicate the picture you have here. So there, I mean, there's hopefully lots of discussions that are coming to your mind of how these cards fit or don't fit together. But this is just the idea of the discussion that we've started off with 145 cards, and through going through a simple process, we've discarded some from the start, but now by drawing ones completely at random, we've drawn inclusion, interpersonal, level of ambition, lack of understanding, and hopefully this is the start and the structure of a discussion around these things in relation to your work. And if you do a similar thing or the same exercise at random, you'll get a different picture and hopefully get a fruitful discussion from that. So hopefully this is a good starting point for you to be confident in engaging with the EDI cards and getting started with your own discussions around the issues they raise. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found this video useful.